Good afternoon, children. Today once again I will start the eco chapter, third chapter, that is your poverty as a challenge. Causes of poverty. What are those causes which brings the poverty? There were a number of causes for the widespread poverty in India. There are a number of causes which is found in India. Number one, historical reason is this: low level of economic development under the British colonial administration. That time there was a low level of economic development during the colonial administration. Colonial, the Britishers period. That time in our country there was a low level of economic development. This was one of the biggest cause for the poverty in India. Then the policies of the colonial government ruined traditional handicrafts and discouraged development of industries like textiles. So that time there was a less they have not preferred the traditional handicrafts. They discouraged the development of the industries like textile. That time Indian textiles were not in that process during the Britishers period. Then next point, the low rate of growth persisted until the 1980s. This resulted in less job opportunities and low growth rate of income. So that time there was a less job also and the low growth rate of income. This was accompanied by a high growth rate of population, and that time there was a more and more population was growing. The two combined to make the growth rate of per capita income may very low. The failure of both the fronts, promotion of the economic growth and the population control, perpetuated the cycle of the poverty. With the spread of the irrigation and the green revolution, now in some of the parts of our India, that time green revolution was there, and in green revolution there was a lot of growth in the agriculture. Many jobs opportunities were created in the agricultural sectors. Many of the people, they have joined the agricultural sector, but the effects were limited to some parts of India. All the states were not getting this more improvement by this green revolution, but some of the states were getting. The industries, both in public and private sector, they were limited. Some parts of the India, the industries were in both public as well as private sector, did not provide some jobs. All the people were not getting the jobs from the private or the public sector, but these were not enough to absorb all the job seekers. So these were not only the causes that all the jobs will be getting. Unable to find proper jobs in cities, many people started working rickshaw pullers. When they were not getting the job, they started earning money by rickshaw, working as a rickshaw pullers, vendors, construction workers, domestic servants, etc., with irregular small income. They were not getting regular income in this, but very small in an irregular way. These people could not afford expensive housing. These people, they could not have affording expensive housing. They started living in slums or the outskirts of the cities, and the problems of poverty, largely a rural phenomena, also become the feature of the urban sector. Another feature of high poverty rates has been in a huge income inequalities. People, in between the people, they were not getting the same amount of salaries, same amount of wages, money, and that is why there was a high poverty in this time. One of the major reasons for this is the unequal distribution of land. Another cause was that the people were not getting the same land proportion. There was unequal, and other resources also. Despite many policies, we have not been able to tackle the issue in a meaningful manner. Major policies initiatives like land reforms, which aimed at redistribution of assets in rural areas, have not been implemented properly, and effectively by most of the state governments, since lack of land resources has been one of the major causes of the poverty. So lack of land resources, all were not getting the land proportion, so that was also one of the biggest cause for the poverty in India. Proper implementation of policies could have improved the life of the millions of rural. If the proper implementation where the policy is being launched, then the life will be improved, life could be improved of the millions of rural people, village people. Many other socio-cultural and economic factors also are responsible for the poverty. Underline this sentence. In order to fulfill social obligation and observe religious ceremonies, people in India, including the very poor, spend a lot of money. Now some of the people, they are spending a lot of money in the marriages, while you can see, and some of the people are very poor, they cannot. Small farmers need money to buy agricultural inputs like seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, etc. Now small farmers, they need a help to purchase the agricultural inputs like seeds, fertilizer, pesticides, etc. Since poor people hardly have any saving, poor farmers, those farmers, they were not having the more savings. They borrow unable to repay because of poverty, and they become a victims of indebtedness, so they cannot return the money. So the high level of indebtedness is both the cause and the effect of the poverty. Anti-poverty measures. Now the anti-poverty measures are there. Removal of poverty has been one of the major objectives of Indian development strategy. The current now government had launched many poverty schemes, anti-poverty schemes, and the current anti-poverty strategy of the government is based on two planks. One is to promotion of the economic growth, and second is targeted anti-poverty programs. First thing, why government has launched these type of anti-poverty measures? Number one, you will underline, first to promote the economic growth, second targeted anti-poverty programs. Over a period of 30 years lasting up the early 80s, there were little per capita income growth and not much reduces in the poverty. There was very slow percentage of growing the reducing the poverty. So official poverty estimates, which were often about 45% in the early 1950s, remain the same even in the early 80s. Since the 80s, India's economic growth has been one of the fastest in the world. So 1950 onwards, there was a lot of improvement in the poverty. The growth rate jumped from the average of about 3.5% a year in 1970s to about 6% during the 1980s and 1990s. The higher growth rate have helped significantly in the reduction of the poverty. Therefore, it is becoming clear that there is a strong link between the economic growth and the poverty reduction. Economic growth reduces needed to invest in human development. Now economic growth widens the opportunities. It provides also the resources to invest on human development, and this also encourages people to send their children. Now people, when they get more facilities, all this, then they can send their children to the school also, including the girl child, to school in the hope of getting better economic returns from the investing in education. However, the poor may not be able to take direct advantage from the opportunities created by the economic growth. Moreover, growth in the agriculture sector is much below expectation. The growth of the agriculture was not very fast, not very more, so it was also less. This has a direct bearing on poverty, as a large number of poor people live in villages and are dependent on agriculture. And the poor people, mostly they live in a village, but they are only depending on the agriculture. In these circumstances, there is a clear need for targeted anti-poverty programs. Although there are so many schemes which are formulated to affect poverty directly or indirectly, some of them are worth mentioning. So some of the major steps being taken by the government to improve the poverty. National Rural Employment Guarantee. and NREGA Act 2005 and was passed in September 2005. The Act provides 100 days. Underline this. The Act provides 100 days assured employment every year to every rural household in 200 later that every person must get the job employment, and in the rural areas nearly 200 districts. Then later the scheme will be extended to 600 districts. First it was given to 200 districts the employment, and then later on 600 districts being allotted. 1/3 of the proportion jobs would be reserved for the women. Among this, 1/3 proportion of the jobs are kept for the women. The central government will also establish national employment guarantee funds. Similarly, state government will establish a state employment guarantee funds for implementation of the scheme. Under the program, if an applicant is not provided employment within 15 days, he will be entitled to a daily employment allowances. So suppose if a person within 15 days is not getting any money or employment, then they will get the daily allowances, unemployment allowances. Another important scheme has been National Food for Work program. This also launched after NREGA. National Food for Work program NFWP, which was launched in 2004 in 150 most backwards districts of the country. The program is open to all the rural poor who are in need of wage employment and desire to do manual unskilled work. It is implemented as a 100% centrally sponsored scheme, and food grains are provided free of cost to the states. Some of the food are distributed in a free way in the different states. Once the NREGA is enforced, the NFWP will be subsumed within this program. Then Prime Minister, next one is another scheme launched by the government, that is your Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana, PMRY, is another scheme which was started in 1993. Underline all these sentences. The aim of the program is to create the self-employment opportunities for educated unemployed youth in rural areas and small towns. This was implemented in rural areas and the small towns, that the educated person must get the employment. They are helped in setting up small business and industry. Those persons, they are unemployed, they can set their business and the industries. The next scheme launched Rural Employment Generation Program, REGP, was launched in 1995. It was launched in 1995. The aim of the program is to create a self-employment opportunities in rural areas and small towns. A target for creating 25 lakhs new jobs has been set up the program under the 10th 5-year plan. Swarna Jayanti, next scheme is Swarna Jayanti Gram Sarojgar Yojana, was launched in 1999. It was founded in 1999. The program aims at bringing the assisted poor families above the poverty line by organizing them into self-help groups through a mix of banks, credit and government subsidy. This was brought under self-help government. Then under the Pradhan Mantri Government Yojana, this is another scheme was launched in 2000. Additional central assistance is given to states for basic services such as primary health, primary education and rural shelter, rural drinking water and rural electrification. Another important scheme was launched, that is Antyodaya Anna Yojana. Antyodaya Anna Yojana about AAY, which you will be reading more in the next chapter. This AAY, Antyodaya Anna Yojana program, being this in detail you will read in the next chapter. The results of this program have been mixed. Now, one of the major reasons for less effectiveness is the lack of proper implementation and right targeting. These schemes must be targeted correctly, and they must be implemented in a proper way. Moreover, there has been a lot of overlapping of the schemes. Some of the schemes been overlapped by one each other. Despite good intentions, the benefits of these schemes are not fully reached to the deserving poor. Therefore, the major emphasis in recent years is on proper monitoring of all the poverty alleviation program. So these were some of the schemes which were launched by the government in different years just to reduce the poverty from India. The challenge ahead, poverty has certainly declined in India, but despite the progress, poverty reduction remains India's most compelling challenge. It is reducing, but still there is a challenge for the poverty to be reduced. Wide disparities in poverty are visible between the rural and the urban. So here it's written, underline, there is a big gap. There is a big gap between the poverty which are visible between the rural and the urban areas and among different states. Not only rural and urban areas but also can be seen in different states. Certain social and economic groups are more vulnerable to poverty. Poverty reduction is expected to make a better progress in the next 10 to 15 years. This would be possible mainly due to higher economic growth, increasing stress or universal free elementary education. Now some of the schemes it was done just to implement the elementary education, free elementary education, declining population growth and increasing empowerment of the women and the economically weaker sections of the society. So these for this only the schemes being launched. The official definition of the poverty, however, captures only a limited part of what poverty really means to people. It is about a minimum subsistence level of living rather than a reasonable level of a living. Many scholars advocate that we must broaden the concept into human poverty. Now many scholars they said that human poverty must be broadened up, and a large number of people may have been able to feed themselves, but they do not have education or a shelter or health care or job security or self-confidence. Are they free from caste and gender discrimination? Is the practice of the child labor still common? Then worldwide experience showed that with development, the definition of what constitutes poverty also changes. Eradication of poverty is always a moving target. Underline this sentence, eradication. To remove the poverty, it is a very big task, it's a very big target. Hopefully, we will be able to provide the minimum necessary in terms of only income to all the people by the end of the next decade. It will be completed by the next decade. The poverty can be reduced whole. But the target will move on for many of the bigger challenges that still remain, providing health care, education and the job security for all, the achieving gender equality and the dignity for the poor. These will be even bigger tasks. So here we can remove the poverty with a big target, and the government had taken a lot of steps to remove the poverty, and the coming decades the poverty can be reduced in our country. Summary you read, and the next question answer I will give you and then later on.